Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Elizabeth here. Today I came on to talk about the solstice, which is this Friday, June the 20th. Depending on where you are in the world, could be the 21st. Now, I watched a video recently, yesterday, which prompted this video, and I'll link it in the bio. It was the Zach chat. So Janet and Hazel did a video where where Hazel trance channels Zachariah. Zachariah is a aspect of the Ascended Master Dwell Kul, and I think I've spoke of them before on my channel. So I'm going to paraphrase and I'm going to read some things that they said. They highly encouraged at the end of the video to share this, just because of the energy and getting it out there and the potency and the opportunity we have here right now. And it just landed for me, so I want to share it. Where do I start? I've made a lot of different notes. The first thing I will say is that, and this is me saying it, I'm not paraphrasing anything here yet. Often when we are witnessing or feeling something that's not in alignment with us, we struggle in how to deal with that. This is where self-mastery comes in, where we can remain grounded in our body, where we can lean into our fortitude, our kindness, our compassion. And if we're still struggling with that, I learned a phrase from the collective Pleiadian 9 with Wendy Kennedy, and that was, I honor your exploration of frequency. I find that very helpful. It can pull you out of being in the soup. We did all come here to experience different things, and when we honor someone's experience, we don't have to agree with it, but we don't have to jump in and fight and get all knotted up in that. So that you could write down and keep, somewhere close. If you feel you keep getting triggered by something, just breathe, recenter. I honor your exploration of frequency. And I use it a lot. I love it. So the solstice. So the solstice is a time of reset for both hemispheres, and it brings us to a still point. Very much, Zach described it as like when we do breath work and we reach the top or the bottom, and we have that moment where we pause before we take our next breath. It's there. That's the still point. And it is in this deep still point where there is this vast web of activity. And so you could look at the solstice and stretch it out from like a few days before, 3 to 5 days before, 3 to 5 days after, of a very really powerful time where we can manifest and promote positivity as much as you can, if you can come back to that. Not focusing so much on thinking how something might look or should look, but on how you feel, really getting into the vibrational aspect of it. With all the energy coming in and the solar flares, solar flares sweeping through our skies, it really, Zach has given us a lot of information here in this video to understand the deeper invitation, and that's to come home back to ourselves, back to our inner sun, and to stabilize through our self-mastery and what we've learned, and to remember that our frequency, how we feel, matters more than ever right now. So as these energies come in, they hit our energy first, and then we can feel them in our physical. Everybody will be feeling these, whether they're aware of it or not. Everybody is receiving this energy coming through. So when it hits our solar plexus, it really can promote strong feelings of anxiety, survival, lack of control, and then there can be this domino effect on our mental state, and on our physical way of being. And Zach reminded us that all of our major organs radiate out from our solar plexus. So, we could feel digestive problems. We could feel heart palpitations. We can feel breathing, hyperventilation, all those things. And that's been going on for quite some time. But everything that's going on with the chaos and what we're feeling and seeing, it comes from the inside first. So it's important to remember our self-mastery again, and see where we have reacting energy, and come back to the body so we're not reacting. Don't worry about the details. When we're manifesting how we want to see our future, the details aren't important. It's how we feel. So how do we want to feel, right? How do you want to feel in the world you're creating for yourself? Happy, joyful? Do you want to feel connected to humanity? Do you want to feel collaborative? Do you want to feel that there's good things for young people to look forward to? Do you want to feel that nature is sustaining itself and that it's flourishing? And those are things to think about. You make your own list, whatever you feel or what you're desiring and wanting to see in the world and how it feels. That's where putting your attention would best serve everybody. Because when everyone is, think of when you're at a wedding or some kind of gathering that's fun, you have all these people, and that energy just grows and grows because you're vibrating at a great place. So the other thing, there's a couple other things here. Sorry, I wasn't sure how I wanted to start this. I'm kind of jumping all around. All of the energy that's been pulsing through, hitting our solar plexus and our sacral, is deeply connecting us to our seat of power. And so this time period is really potent. And even though we have experienced vast levels of discomfort, what we will receive back is this wonderful energy formation. And it's from plugging in to this, to our seat of power, and holding that desire, that frequency for the elevation. This time period has the intensity to set in motion potentials for a very wondrous and beautiful future, is what Zach said. So it's, do we act or do we react? So being very conscious of where our thoughts are and where we're putting our focus on. I want to live in a world that feels safe, that feels connected, that feels free. The whole 11th house type thing, right? Where you can just be yourself and share that with humanity. Happy, relaxed, nature thriving, the animals thriving, everybody working in their own way, that it just naturally comes together. So that's where I want to put my focus. The other thing that I will say is Zach touched on the moon, and that a lot of people having insomnia right now, which is, I've had moments of that where, you know, you go to bed and then you wake up in the night and you're awake for a couple of hours. I personally, I don't resist that when it happens anymore. I've gotten myself to a place that I understand it's just energy moving through. I allow the energy to come in and do what it has to do, and it goes by quicker. Sometimes it's uncomfortable if I'm feeling energy, you know, like shocking my body. That can be uncomfortable. But when you connect with your body, ask for comfort, call in the energies, you know, that can help you, it really does help. It just does. But right now, as Zach was saying, how it's very important, very prevalent to actively intend to connect with the moon before you go to sleep. It's the counterpoint, and it's the quickest way to be able to stabilize us. It allows us to drop through all the different realms and into the level of sleep that is regenerative. Oh, sorry, I'm tripping over that word. So we're not still being triggered from the sun, because often we go to bed and we're still in that, we're still connected to it. I never really ever thought of that. So I found that very helpful. So, because often I know I feel this sometimes. I wake up more tired than I went to sleep, and it's because we're still connected to that energy. So, actively intending to connect to the sun, to the moon, is very helpful. And also, one of the other things that Zach talked on was about really being kind to our digestive system. If you can eat lightly, it's very helpful. But I would invite you to watch the video. It's just really beautiful. You know, we are here to calibrate and to go through this. So I think it's worth a listen to if you're called to do it. So that's just for the solstice. I didn't really get into any more I didn't get into any of the other video or any of the other energies for this week. I hope I've made sense talking about the solstice. I've always honored the solstice, but this time it just feels very different. And I like the idea of connecting to the moon, and I like the idea of having this window of just really focusing my thoughts and my feelings of where I want to be, because with intention, and knowing that it's a very pivotal time for humanity, and that rise, and that it's all doable. Yeah, it feels, I don't know, as hard as this year has been so far, or the last few years really, the ups and downs, there is such a undercurrent of hope, resilience, of what are we building, excitement. Things have changed so quickly and so fast already. I can't even imagine how they're going to look when we get to wherever we're going. But given the choice, I would choose joy and fun and stuff like that. So I thought I'd pull a card for those watching. This is the Sacred Creators deck. If you want to create something, these are just words. I love this deck. It's very helpful. So let's pull one card and see what comes through. I forgot to lay down my napkin. Sorry if it's a little loud. Follow your truth, I'm hearing. So one card for those watching, please, Spirit. Sorry. Solstice energy. Your past supports your future. It's an 11 card. That's mastery. Self-mastery. Huh. I will leave it there. Happy solstice. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And share this video or share Zach's video because I think it's really important. Bye for now.